Welcome to the Dungeon Coach live stream. Whether you're watching this live right now or sometime in the future, I got you covered. I want to help you guys with your Dungeons and Dragons questions. All the timestamps will be linked down below. And I also, if you want next level help, I also have some stuff that I offer my patrons each and every month. Because I want to say thank you for you supporting what I do here and helping me chase after this dream of mine of doing content creation full time. So these PDFs have DM resources, homebrew options to customize and tweak your game. Every single month I have magic items, traps, puzzles, riddles, character bonus perks to customize a wide variety of different characters. It's got entire rule systems like enchanting and lycanthropy and how to run those different types of things, and a ton of other stuff to input into your world, into your cities, into your rule systems, and just spark up that creativity each and every month. And for all of you that are watching this video in the future, or you're coming back to it at a later time, you had to leave during the live stream, I'm gonna have all the timestamps down below and in the chapters here at the bottom of the screen that you can click around and see which question I answered and jump around to find out what's most interesting to you. So on with the live stream. Oh yeah, I'm accidentally early. I went to press the stream, like the cool little music stuff we have before, and I pressed the wrong button. So I was like, whatever guys, we're being early today. We're 2 minutes early. Let's go. What's up, people? Robert Forsyth is here. What's up, Robert? Let's go. Freaking Hooper right there. Early, what's the tech problem? Where's the tech problem when you need it? Dungeons and Destiny. We already talked about this. Oh, actually, Dungeons and Destiny is my behind the scenes camera tech guy. So still have no idea if that happens. We'll see if it flares up today, but my video editor has not found the lens flare problem. I think I might have fixed it with what I did. But anyway, tech problems are a norm here. Travis Packard, Frankie Draws. You better be working on that cover for the DC playbook while we're streaming. I'm just kidding. I'm not mean like that. You can do you, baby. You do you. Ryan Burbridge, what's up? I'm still the boss when I snuck in last time. Oh, that's so funny. I totally forgot to do that. You're so right. I forgot to reset everything so we can get going. Because I think I forgot to do everything because we're doing live streams every week now, y'all. We just made the announcement last time that we are moving to every week live streams. So that's super exciting. And that's the new thing now. So there we go. Resetting the boss. Sorry, Ryan Burbridge. Thanks for the heads up, Ryan. But yeah, now we're doing it every single week, and boom, hopefully that lands, and there we go, we're good. Look at me multitasking. There's the technical difficulties. There they are. Got them. Y'all are worried, but there we go. Beard Bear, what's up, Beard Bear? Who else is here? Josh Zellers, Puppet Master, all the familiar names. Chimera, Ava, Bug, Admiral Salute. Admiral, you are in my campaign. I don't know if you remember last time Admiral super chatted during a campaign creation live stream, which I might do that. Honestly, for all the people that are here right now, y'all are the people that are always here at the very beginning, and I appreciate jumping on and loving this thing up and stuff. And so I want to kind of, let me know in the chat if you would rather see DC like Q&As, so like question and answer stuff, D&D Q&As, or campaign creation, or creating a material of something, like creating homebrew magic items, or creating homebrew adventures or monsters or something. So comment one of those three things in the chat right now. I'll give y'all a second as I go back and say hi to everybody, but comment either homebrew resource, oh my god, I just said them all, Q&A, or campaign prep. One of those three. Let me know. I'd be really interested to see that. So yeah, and moderators, while you're here, can you ask that same question to Artificer? Can you ping him? And I'm trying to make a note of that I want to add that into a poll of some kind that I do for this video on this week. But anyway, let me know. I'll read the chat here in a second. Pyrotechnic, let's go. We got wait, early Fiesta, early party. What's up? Is there a party? Early party. Oh, y'all threw an early party at the beginning. That's awesome. Coulter Wilson, was that the early party? That's funny. Okay, I think I got everybody. All right, let's go. Ryan Combs, let's go. All right, let's see. All. We want them all. Let's go. Tuning in from Australia. Let's go. A new name. A new name is here. Welcome. That's a new name for me to see what I did there, because that's a new name that I saw because I hadn't seen that before. See what I did? This is what you get. A new name. High quality dad jokes. Let's go. We knew we'd find a technical mistake. Nice. A mix of everything. Homebrew, Q&A, Homebrew. Why put the stream in a box? Homebrew resources. Well, now with me streaming every month, every week, maybe we do that. Maybe the first stream of the month is a Q&A, and then we have a Homebrew resource. Then we do a Q&A. Then we do campaign creation. That sounds kind of cool. That sounds really cool, actually. What if we did that? You know what I'm saying? Because I used to do hand dexterity. I used to do 2 streams, and I'm doing 4 now. So that might. Coulter saying Q&A plus Homebrew. Everything is content. Quoting Critical Role there. Aaron Dykes. What's up? Charlie the Tailor. Let's go. Homebrew resource. I'd love to see longer lives. Yeah, I want to start. The lives. We'll see kind of how the campaign creation ones go, and that's kind of when I want to slot out some time and have a natural ending instead of a forced ending. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be the next step. But I'm already taking I'm doubling the amount of time I'm streaming right now between all that. So we'll see how it goes. Higher quality dad jokes is an oxymoron. That's pretty awesome. Not the coach remember Darth Joe. I remembered your name, Darth Joe, because I can't. Darth Joyo. I remember seeing that name. So no, don't worry. I remember that. I must do better. That's awesome. So real quick, then we're going to get into the Q&A. In fact, I'll go ahead and start that right now. This is going to be a D&D Q&A. Next D&D live stream, we might make a Homebrew resource or do some campaign prep. We'll probably do some campaign prep. I think that'll be a great time to do some campaign prep because where my campaign's heading, and they're about to go do some big stuff. So yeah, we'll do a campaign prep next time. But we're doing D&D Q&A. So if you got your questions, #question, drop them in the chat. I'll pick them up, and our moderators will pick them up, and we will get those answered and whatnot. Right. Let me make sure I have my. Okay, there we go. I think we're good. I think I can see it now. Okay, yeah, we can. Okay, cool. All right, perfect. All right. Real quick as the overview here. This is the boss that I just reset because technical difficulties, right? But super chats, if you want to super chat and ask a question there, jump your question on the front of the line. Appreciate the support. Answer that question here, and your questions deal damage to the boss. If you kill the boss, you become the next boss, and then people are fighting you now instead of me, and I'm off the chopping block. And if we hit the stream goal, then we do a giveaway of something on the website that you want. You get a shopping spree on the dungeoncoach.com website. There's a ton of stuff there now, and there you go. But if you're a patron and you probably therefore have a lot of the stuff, if you have a lot of those resources and then you want to instead, I will buy you a D&D book and we'll get it sent to you if you're in the US. If not, we can do D&D Beyond, all that kind of stuff. We'll take care of that once we find out whoever wins at the end of the stream, if we hit this goal. And this is another big thing here. I want to thank my YouTube members, because YouTube members is a new thing that I'm starting up here. I'm just overhauling it this week. I'm launching it on YouTube because Patreon is super cool. It's literally how I do what I do. I would not be able to have gone full time. I would not be able to stream. I literally would not be able to stream twice. I would not be able to stream every week if it wasn't for Patreon and patrons and being able to do all that kind of stuff. And the more support that I get, the more time that I have, and then I can invest that time with you guys and with my family, which is great because the last 2 years have been crazy. On YouTube members, though, there's a lot of really cool stuff I can do because it's on the platform that I'm on, which there's just so many things that YouTube is doing and going to be adding in the future. So I wanted to do that as an opportunity for you guys. I'm about to overhaul the whole thing, so keep that in mind. I'm about to change some things up here, but we'll wait. I just had a sound, some sort of sound plate that I've never heard before. That's weird. We'll get to that in a second. But I got some big stuff coming for the YouTube members that'll be announced in the video this week. So stay tuned for this video. But Stan Tucker, Steve DeVace, Somerset, Charlie the Tailor, is in this live stream as well. I just saw Charlie the Tailor. And you'll recognize these people with all the green names. They have the green names next to other things. Nicholas Kinsey, Kurt Duvall, Chimera, HC Magic. Chimera's here too. Michelle Egan, aka Ava. Eric T, Taylor G, Sean Lewis, Kendall West, Colin Sequel, Avalon Inc. Wait, what? Tim is Average, Morton Stroop, and should I say the last name? Yes, Scatterbug. Thank you guys for freaking being YouTube members for some of y'all a long time. So that's awesome. YouTube member shout out. Look, Scatterbug's been a YouTube member. That's why I said his name last, because it listed it off in order of how long. And it's been a hot minute. 24 months. Look at that. YouTube member shout out. Let's go. Join the cool kids. Wait. How are y'all doing that? Avalon Inks for 24 months as well. Let's go. Wait, members nice. Wait, how'd y'all do that? How'd y'all do a message like that? Is that how'd y'all do that? I really don't know how that happened. They did like a whole thing with it. That's cool. I didn't even know that was possible. Let's go. All right. Anyway, Pennywise is in the chat. Whoa. Up in this joint. All right, we're gonna start. So Pennywise, we're gonna start answering some questions here. Here we go. Where's my questions at? Bang, bang. Question. Thank you, Sneaky Steve, for getting these questions rolling. Josh Zellers has a question. What is the most interesting part of your world? So many places to go. Oh, my homebrew world. I was about to say, I was thinking like Houston, Texas. Like, wait, what? That's funny. I got you. Oh, if you're a member, you get one free super chat unless they changed it. Oh, that's cool. There's a free member super chat option every so often. Wow, that's awesome. I didn't know that. I'm going to make a note of that. Really, like I literally, actually, sorry, moderators, somebody message me and say, free super chat messages. Message me that. I'll remember it. I want to stay focused here on this live stream. Okay. So back to the question. Most interesting part of my world. Okay. So disclaimer for my campaign people. So if you're part of my campaign, don't listen to this. Plug your ears. In fact, I'm going to do this. I'm going to turn this off, and then I'm turning it back on once it's the spoilers. So these are, if you're a player of mine, don't listen to this. There's a place in my campaign called Sanctuary, and inside of Sanctuary is this like monk like meditation city where everyone's meditating, and it's this like higher state of enlightenment type thing. Nobody has jobs, everyone just meditates. It's a long story. One of the players actually created during session 0. They said that I threw out like what kind of cities are in the world, and they threw this one out, and it turns out I made this one be like the center of all evil. And the group that's doing this meditation, they are prying into people's brains and using this energy and to enhance the nightmare plane and tapping into them, all this kind of stuff, right? So that's a super big thing in the campaign. And then there's also high up in the mountains, there is a nightmare dragon that has been corrupted and is being imprisoned and held. But as the world sinks into more nightmare, chaos, evil, it gets stronger, and it's harder and harder for it to maintain. And yeah, those are the two big things that popped into my head as far as big cool things. And there's also a big desert with a huge army of things growing and that the players don't know about yet. But there's that. Okay, no more spoilers. All right, so we're back. All right. Next question. Beard Bear has a question. First of all, awesome name. What is your favorite non-fighting creature? Non-fighting creature. What is your favorite non-fighting creature / monster to have your PC interact with? Oh, interesting. Favorite non-fighting creature or monster to have your PC interact with. I'm trying to wrap my head around as far as the potential of a non-fighting monster for them to interact with. I like to do sleeping creatures, like big, huge sleeping creatures blocking the way. I've done that before. That have no hostile interactions, whatever. Big trees and golems, those are always fun, non-hostile things to have. Like golems of extreme power, but they just are asking you questions or friendly, or just like they're in the way and they have to move. Because there's one time where the players had to go through this place and the map said they could go through this like mountain range, like this path. There's like, obviously there's a road and then it stops. And they're like, what, and they had a big caravan they're taking with them. And so somebody starts to climb up the rocks to get to the top. And they're like, and there's a road on the other side. So there's this like boulder mass in the middle and it doesn't look like there's an avalanche. And they're like, what the heck? And eventually through some checks and nature and other interesting things and failing forward and all this stuff, turns out it was a golem, like a stone golem that was blocking the way, that was just sleeping. Right. And they're like, then it gets out of the way and it talks with them and all that kind of stuff. So that's always a cool thing, non-fighting moment, to have an interaction with a monster. I think that answers the question, you know what I'm saying? And I also love like blind old NPC gypsy fortune teller type of people to find on the road. I love those. That's funny. Next question. The D&D GC. Wait, yeah, I said that right. Cool. Question: what are your thoughts / what do you want to see in a D&D movie? Oh, that's cool. That's cool. What do I want to see in a D&D movie? Let me see. So what I want to see in a D&D movie. I feel like I don't know if this would land, or I don't know if this is a good idea, so I'm disclaimering it. It could be a terrible idea, but I want to see moments where there's the natural 1 and natural 20s, you know, like maybe it's a movie and there's just a dice in the bottom left corner the whole time. And it's like almost like an 8 ball, and you shake it and it says the thing. So maybe there's just a thing and it like wisps into like numbers every once in a while. So where like something's about to happen. I'm gonna like, you gotta climb that wall. And he's like running over to the wall, and you see like the mist start to form, and then a number appears. And then he climbs the wall. I think that might be cool. I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe that's super lame and people would hate it in a movie and take you out of the movie and stuff. But I think if there's like a 20 or something, because then ultimately maybe that would be super lame because it's not a dice being rolled and somebody's like choosing the numbers. So maybe that's stupid. But I mean, a D&D movie, ultimately just give me some dragons, give me a dungeon with a dragon in it. And I think if what would be best for my idea I just threw out there probably would be terrible, but to bring in the rest of the audience, and probably a much better idea to expand the hobby, I think would be have a really cool movie, a fantasy Lord of the Rings style movie set in a Dungeons and Dragons campaign, with hints and innuendos towards how the game works as far as spells and casting. I can't cast spells anymore, whatever type of thing. I can only do lower math, whatever. We need to rest. It's like different things that you can kind of subtly put in there. Cool different monsters from the D&D universe, and like reference. I have like a book with a beholder on it or something. And they go into a dungeon and slay a dragon. I think that would just be a very nice package deal to be like, oh yeah, Dungeons and Dragons, that's cool. And then the next movie could like shake the mold on that, and they could go to the plane of air or something. I don't know. But anyway, there you go. Next question. Oh, hold up. Oh my gosh. Scatterbug. Sneak attack. Roll for damage. I'm gonna roll for damage for you, Scatterbug. By the way, here's my my Dungeon Master dice set. Here's my Dungeon Master dice tray. Is it fitting? Is it not fitting? Is it not me? Isn't that cool? Yeah, it's I'm gonna roll some damage dice. So Scatterbug for sure is a 1d4 as far as what Scatterbug's pincers would be. And then he did a sneak attack, and he has been a YouTube member for a long time. He's been in the freaking crew for a long time, company for a long time. I think Scatterbug would have 4d6 for a sneak attack. And he is the boss now. So here's how much damage you did, Scatterbug. Let me just kind of roll it out there. Re-rolled. 6, 3, 9. We have 9, we have 8, and we have another 9, so that's 18. 18 damage. Let's go. That's funny. I just homebrewed Scatterbug's sneak attack template. So there you go. What else we got? But yeah, Scatterbug's the boss now. So if anyone squashes him, or if anyone, there you go. Oh my gosh. Ava comes in and kills Scatterbug with a exact super chat, $11 super chat. I cast Bardic Inspiration. But I feel like that bardic inspiration is going to go to the next person that super chats, because if the bug just are you bardic inspirationing me, I'm going to rule that the bardic inspiration goes to the next person of whatever the heck they do to keep this weird story going. I don't know. But anyway, so next question. Thank you, Ava. Thank you, Bug. You guys don't have to super chat. Stop it. Stop it. Next question. Travis Packard is question. How do you feel about a PC becoming addicted to health potions? Travis, yes. PC becoming addicted to health potions. I literally did that. I literally had a PC become, or no, sorry, not a PC, an NPC become addicted to health potions. So in the middle of the early of the campaign, there was an NPC and they had rations. They were in the military and they had rations, and one of the rations was like, health potions for whenever you go into combat. Each person would be issued one. Be careful. And this one person kept trying to barter and negotiate for that. You have your health potion? I got food. And they would barter and negotiate for more health potions. But then there was no combat that was happening. So why do they need all these health potions? And then they never really came much of it until that person died in battle. And whenever they went to loot their body or take all the stuff, they didn't loot a dead NPC body. They cared for them more than that. But when they went to buy, they found 8 health potions on them. So that was interesting, funny, but kind of dark. But yeah, I think that'd be really interesting. I have a full-blown addiction system in Alkander's Almanac. 2 different addiction systems. Well, one to establish an addiction, which you've already done with the healing potion, and the second one to roll it out, and with what happens when they don't get one. What happens when they do drink one? What's the quirks and stuff? So I have a whole full-blown system of addiction, and it's called an adversity system that I actually worked with Brennan Lee Mulligan on. Me and him actually spoke, talked, worked together. One of his team members and myself and him worked on he had what's called an adversity system that he used in Dimension 20 season 2 of the Unsleeping City. It really was awesome, spoke to me, really awesome for mental health reasons as well. And I really wanted to do it justice and did it, and boom, it is super awesome. So that's another thing there. That's a really cool question though. Really cool question. All right. We had another super, whoa, time out. What? Coulter Wilson, Ava's inspiration just went to Coulter Wilson because Coulter Wilson comes in with a $100 super chat. What? Let's see here. In my campaign, bro, you don't even acknowledge this crazy super chat you just did. You just go into it. Wow. Okay. In my campaign, Ocean Islands, in my campaign, Ocean Islands are home to a cannibalistic dragonborn. Ooh. Devotion to their corrupted dragon deity makes them seek out the chosen and consume them. Warlocks who follow the dragon. With each chosen eaten, their power grows. Oh, what can this new warlock do? Oh, okay, chat, here we go. This is what anytime there's this is absolutely insane super chat. Thank you, Coulter. Seriously, Coulter's always ridiculous. Okay, so I'm going to give my initial thoughts, and then you guys, as I'm doing that, chime in y'all's initial thoughts for this whole thing, and then I'm going to read the chat after that, and we're going to give a big package deal for Coulter to set him up, because that's crazy. And Coulter always has some really cool ideas. Okay, so Ocean Islands are home to cannibalistic dragonborn. Okay. Devotion to their corrupted dragon entity makes them seek out, chosen, and consume them. Warlocks who follow the dragon. Are they consuming with each chosen eat? Okay. They consume. They see chosen. Warlocks who follow the dragon. The chosen. My only confusion here is: are the chosen the dragonborn, or the chosen oh? But see, this is I guess where my confusion is. So Coulter, clarify on this. Is there's corrupted dragonborns, right? And their devotion to Ocean Island, cannibalistic dragonborn, devotion to their corrupted dragonborn entity that makes them seek out and consume them. But the chosen that they're consuming are warlocks who follow the dragon. So there's dragonborn entities that have devotion to an entity, a dragon, I am assuming, a corrupted devotion to their corrupted dragon entity. Yeah. So there's a corrupted dragon with corrupted dragonborn, but then there's warlocks who follow the dragon, and those warlocks are the chosen, and these dragonborn eat the chosen and they grow in power. But then your question is, what can these warlocks do? You know what I'm saying? Is that correct? Is that correct? Where I'm asking is what you want the warlocks to do? Because I think that what's interesting is it's almost this, like, it's a cannibalistic circle, because the warlocks want to serve the dragon, right? And the dragon would supposedly get more power and have more reach and whatever he wants to do because of these warlocks that are following him. But then these dragonborn that are corrupted from the same dragon are eating these chosen, to then they get more power. So maybe that's the end game of this dragon, is because I'm thinking from the perspective of the dragon, because from the perspective of the warlocks, they are serving a dragon, getting some powers. It's, there you go, it's great. And then from the dragon's perspective, they bait people, almost like literal fishing bait. They bait people to follow them and become warlocks and become chosen. So they choose, this dragon chooses people to become warlocks so that his own following can eat them. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's really interesting. So I think, what can these new warlocks do? Before I get clarification from Coulter, I'm going to go down this little mini rabbit hole here. I think what they can do is get weaker, but they don't know they're getting weaker. They can cast spells and they can do stuff and they can show, and like as they're casting spells, they don't even realize it. They're sapping their own life force, making them weaker, almost like priming them, like use cooking terminologies, like making them prepared to be consumed, like weakening their connection of their soul. So maybe that their soul's easier to grab and it doesn't slip away. So whenever they die, they actually get their soul as well. And the soul doesn't slip away into, you know, the freaking ether and stuff, into the deep ethereal. And, oh my God, the word is slipping through my, it starts with the F, where they go. Not Faerun, far, no. Oh my God. It starts, the realm that they go to when you die. I have a whole Word document that I'm working on it. Wow, that's a big one. So I'm gonna go check in with the chat now and see where we're at. Okay, so Coulter, I'm looking for Coulter. Coulter. Okay, the chosen are the poor unfortunate few that are given power by the deity. Yep. They are hunted and eaten to obtain their power. Only the strong survive. Nice. Yep. Okay. Cool. All right. Yeah. Then I got it right then, Coulter. That's awesome. So, no, not the Shadowfell. What is that? Okay. We're going to go down this rabbit hole real quick and we're going to double back to, freaking Coulter. It's called, oh my gosh, I'm looking it up right now. So it's called, transitive planes. I have a whole document here. Yep. All right. And then it starts with an F, ethereal plane, far realm, Feywild, fugue plane. There we go. The fugue plane. We did it. There we go. All right. So the fugue plane is where you go when you die. That's now if that's a different thing. I have a homebrew version of that. I have a real version of like looking up through different editions of the fugue plane is. I could do a whole thing on the fugue plane. So yeah, fugue. Yep, there we go. Fugue plane. Yep. Realm of the Raven Queen. No, Shadowfell. Yeah, okay, but that's a whole nother thing. Limbo. Sigil. See, I love the planes. All right. Anyway, back to Coulter. What can these warlocks do? Then we're gonna get back to the questions. Honestly, I feel like the warlocks would need to consume other people in order to offset their own erosion. And their magic, their powers would be corruption. They would have necrotic, corrosion, blight, decay, withering type effects. And they would be able to extremely decay and erode things, but at the same time, they would be doing it to themselves as well, to weaken their own selves for these dragonborn to eat them. And they don't even know that they're just giving up and they're just becoming weaker. So I don't know if you have a player that's a warlock that's following this dragon or something like that, but I think that would be a really cool moment to give them some sort of weird curse effect that is slowly killing them or something. Or like whenever they gain maximum HP, they always lose one. Or like I would do something where I like to do stuff like this. And if you think I'm a mean dungeon master for manipulating my players' maximum health, then so be it. But what if they had like they were level 1 and they had 8 health or whatever, and then which I guess they have 8 health, and then as they're going leveling up from 1 to 2, sometime during that time they lose like every like 3 days they lose 1 max HP, or after a big combat where they cast a bunch of spells they lose 1 max HP. Or maybe after a fight is over where they cast their max level spell slot, you have at the end of the fight, once it's over, you ask them to make a Constitution saving throw. If they fail it, they lose 1 maximum hit point. Oh, there we go. That's what I would do. That's exactly what I would do right now. So there you go, Coulter. I think that's really awesome, and the fact that it took me so long to be able to put all that together is awesome, and I think that's super intricate, and that's really cool. That's awesome. Again, thank you for the super chat. That's crazy. Let me see what other message we got. We had a bot come in the chat. Yeah, appreciate you guys. Chomp throwing that down. I don't even know. Can I report them? Go to the channel, report the user and timeout. All right, there we go. I think we're good, right? Yeah, okay, we're good. Good job, moderators. Good job, moderators. What else we got? Does anybody love the gem addicted healing? Okay, Jim. Question how to kind of okay. We got Alkener's Almanac question. So I just because I saw it, King to Beast. Is there a way to get a hardcover of your Almanac? Yeah, in any video, and the link of this video, description of this video is a link to Alkener's Almanac. It's only going to be available for about another month and a half before I'm shutting the doors on the hardcovers. So yeah, the link is down for that is down in the description to pick that up, and I'm going to be talking about that more here in a little bit once Alkener's Almanac's done. And if we have any more questions about that, well, I'll give an Alkener's Almanac update because there's some it's exciting. All right. Clean D, they're playing. Yeah. Sneaky Steve is up to date with all of the death mechanics and where you go. Otherwise, go to the fugue plane. Yeah. Well, that's see, I could talk forever about my interpretations of the fugue plane. So night beard bear. Oh, Darren Miller, you could also run it as they were aware of a cannibal dragonborn. They look at it as an honorable sacrifice to keep the deity in the power. It's obviously alive, but it sounds like a cool swing. Oh, there we go. Another interpretation. Chimera said something else. That patron tax. Every time they get healed, 1 HP goes to their patron, who is growing more and more powerful. Oh! So I would do the curse I said where they lose their maximum hit points. I would have those maximum hit points go to the dragon as well, and whenever they get healed, some of that healing goes to the dragon as well. Every time they get healed, the cleric would roll at the table, and they would be like, "You heal for 7 hit points." I'd be like, "No, it's 6 hit points." That's so sick. I love that. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Yeah, that is really interesting. I love the healing. It gets like siphoned away. That is super cool. Wait, what? My wife texted me. Okay. What? Okay. Anyway, so next thing, we got the super chat. We got the crazy healing mechanics with all of that. Oh, that's so cool. All right. Next question. Oh my gosh, this person's still in the chat. Why? Put it report. Go to the chat. Okay, so okay, yeah, there we go. Okay, I reported them. Okay, interesting. That's weird. I've never had something be so persistent. That's weird. I feel like I should just be able to ban them. Ban user in timeout. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. Anyway. So next question. Darth Juyo. We're back. If you're making an item that grows as the player grows, is there any idea you have or you may have for milestones for them to grow as it gets stronger rather than just going by levels? For sure, Darth. So we have a whole thing. Chimera, we might have to interject here as far as what we originally had this whole, or we still do have a dynamic magic item system. I don't know which DC playbook it's in. But we have a whole it's called dynamic magic items. It's the dungeon coach style branded whatever for this type of thing which you're talking about. But it's basically where you have an item that's like a super basic, bad, normal, low magic item, and then you can upgrade it to the middle tier and then upgrade it to the top tier, all that kind of stuff, right? So I think it's really cool and I love that concept, but I definitely think there needs to be some sort of milestones instead of like you leveled up, so now your item's better, you know what I'm saying? So I did a video on sentient magic items, Darth. So you can look up sentient items, and I had like a leveling up process involved with sentient items, and I had that be role play based, and they unlock certain things with the sentient item based on what they role played with it and what they taught it, and that they made it a better version of itself, because the sentient item, they found it on a spectrum of like bad to good or whatever, and depending on what they did, it would shift across that, and its powers and abilities would shift across that as well. So thought that was super interesting. And then, John Dye, hey there, love your content. Have a question about your Dragon Rider subclass. Oh, that's good. So that would be, I wonder what all you would consider giving the players of dragon traits when they hit level 7. Oh, that's like bonus level up perk type stuff, John. So I would have to know the player, know the tricks of the trade as far, or know what their like class fantasy was of what kind of dragon traits, or seeing, I'd have to have that. I have the whole dragon PDF with a bunch of actual dragon perks in that same PDF, with the dragon system there. But I do appreciate the kind words there. Appreciate you, man. But I'd have to have that in front of me and look lit and break it down. And that would, when we do a homebrew stream, when we do a homebrew resource stream, that might be something I dive into here. But that's like super involved breakdown, and I have to get the screens ready and all that kind of stuff, and I don't have it set up for the Q&A, but that does make me think of stuff for when we do the homebrew breakdowns. But yeah, so Darth, to also finish answering your question though, got distracted, is have it be based on choices they make in the way they use the item, or you can have it be using an ability on the item a certain number of times, or maybe if they have an ability that does something and you roll for damage with it, if they max the damage roll, cool. If they crit with it, cool. Have cool things be what unlocks it. My favorite thing to do behind the scenes, don't tell anybody, what I love to do for magic item unlocks is I list off a couple of things. I have the stages of the magic item, and I'm like, all right, right now it's here. What would be cool? And I like a little bit, what would make it a little bit cooler? And I write that down, and then I do it again and again. I have like 3 different stages of it. And then I do a separate whoop. All right, what's cool things they could do with this weapon? I do not tie them together. I'm like, what's cool things they could do? All right, well, so I'll use an example again. I hope Ivar is not in the chat, one of my players from my current campaign. He just unlocked a sword where he has a sword, and there's magic that he put into the hilt of it, and it's a temperature shifting sword. So it's a sword that can get super cold or super hot, and or somewhere in the middle and all that kind of stuff. So if he ever makes it extremely cold, like plunges his sword, like there's a setting where he can go to cold mode or fire mode. If he goes to cold mode and shoves his sword into the snow, something cool can happen. If he does the same thing with fire and plunges into something hot, something cool could happen. Or if he does the inverse of that, I think I would probably unlock the ability if he did the inverse of that too, because that's cool. So basically make it a puzzle with possible solutions where doing cool stuff unlocks the next trigger, right? And then don't lock it into only that trigger. Because if I had in my head, all right, if he shifts it to cold mode and he plunges into the sword, it's going to get super cold and then upgrade it to now it's going to do the next cool thing it can do. Well, what if he thought it'd be cool to do the opposite and he went to fire and shoved it into the snow? I mean, that's a really cool player idea. They're thinking outside the box. They're doing all this stuff. Yep, that's the answer now. And I'm going to give him the unlock. So there you go. There you go. I have a room temperature sword. Scatterbug has a room temperature sword. Wow, that is amazing. That's funny. That's really funny. Okay. Next question. You know what? I didn't bring myself any water. Damn. Oh well. I just had that moment. I was like, 1 second. Oh, I don't have anything there. Anyway, Josh Zeller's question: any collabs in the works? Ooh, Josh. So yeah, there's as far as collabs go, there's some things. Well, now there's ad spot collabs for Alkander's Almanac that's going to be releasing in the next 15 or so days, where I've collaborated with One Shot Questers and Nerdarchy and Lunch Break Heroes, Trent Monk, other more things that I don't have the list in front of me of, and they're going to do some Alkenner's Almanac things in their channel. But those are not necessarily collaborations as much as they are paid advertisements where I am paying them to do that. So it's not like a true collab right there. But yeah, there's that. There is some things where I had slated for it, and it was going to be just the best. I had slated for Brennan Lee Mulligan to bring Brennan Lee Mulligan on the channel and do a interview DM talk back and forth thing with Brennan Lee Mulligan. I talked with his agent and we were setting it all up, and then they launched a new thing and time slipped away from us, etc., etc. So we'll see if that comes back on. But yeah, there's the collabs. I have not been available to do collabs because I've been so busy, but now that I'm full time, I'm going to be able to do that again and not have to say no so much, because I can say yes because I have more time and stuff. So yeah, and I will say this too as a one little side note. Z Bashu, wait, is that right? Yeah, Z Bashu has offered for me to play in a game with him and some other people that are going to be playing. I don't know if it's going to be a streamed game. But that's just freaking cool in the first place of just like connections with other content creators, which that'd be super fun. That'd be super fun. B Sparky, I would love to see BLM on your channel. Oh yeah, for sure. And then, all right, nice, cool. Whoa, we got a super chat. Ryan Combs with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Ryan Combs. I am making a jeweler class inspired by that's where my head was started going. I was like, oh, jeweler class. And I as I read things, my brain just starts swirling with like homebrews and which thing, and I'll start pulling in things, right? And you were a step ahead of me there. Inspired by my gem socketing PDF. Subclasses are Diamond, Ruby, Emerald, Sapphire. Oh my gosh, let's go. Diamond gives a cleric healer abilities. What would the other three give? Oh yes, this is cool. Okay, so again, chat, if you want to chime in on this, chime in now. I'm not going to look yet, but let me know what y'all's thoughts are. So a jeweler class, gem socketing. Okay, cool. So Diamond, healer, gotcha. Ruby. Oh, Ruby. See, I don't know. Honestly, I'm going to challenge you here, Ryan. I'm going to challenge you. I don't think Diamond's healing. I don't think Diamond is healing. I'm not trying to go, come at you or anything like that. I think Diamond is tank. I think Diamond is like defense and like hard as a diamond, you know what I'm saying? And they have some sort of like diamond shields and diamond like incredible like abjuration type diamond themed magic. So I see it as like a defense, like diamond being a defensive thing. Ruby, Emerald, and Sapphire. I almost feel like any of those could be healing. Ruby's probably going to be shifted more towards fire and damage and stuff. That's just more mainstream or whatever. So I think that's better. But Emerald, green, healing. Yeah. Blue, Sapphire, cool, healing. Yeah. But honestly, I would say red is damage. Red, Ruby, damage. Green, Emerald, healing. And blue, Sapphire, buffing of some sort of buffing magic enhancement. Hero's Feast, boons that you can grant people and give buffs to, right? So maybe they walk around in blue form and like they're subclasses though. They're subclasses. Never mind, they're subclasses. So blue would just be a buffer, like a control mage type buffer. Emerald's the healer, Ruby's evocation damage dealer, and Diamond's of some sort of tank abjuration caster. Freaking cool, Ryan Combs. What else y'all thinking here? Diamond's defensive. Yeah. Ruby's evocation. Yeah. Me and Admiral are synced up right here. Ruby evocation. Abracadagger. I love that name so much. I love that name. Diamond defense, Ruby evocation, Ruby wizard, Emerald druid. Oh, okay. Onyx is stealth. Ooh, Ryan Burbridge. Onyx is stealth. Yes. Oh my gosh, dude, that is so cool. Ryan Combs. I hope you freaking go kill that thing, man. That sounds so awesome. Gems. Look at that. Okay. Just look at this. Like, look at all this community, the homebrew swirling around in this freaking community, y'all. You know, like I make a gem crafting PDF, and then Ryan Combs like, you know what if we had, and then he starts going with it, comes up with this awesome idea, and then y'all are just throwing ideas into. Oh, this is so cool. I love this goddamn game. Ruby Vacation, Onyx, Alexandrite. Ooh. Sapphire's Illusion. Oh, cool take, Darren. Cool take, Darren. Oh, diamonds are used for Revivify. That's probably where the healing. Yeah, I see that. I see that. What if diamond is necromant? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. What's glass? Oh, no. No, Darren. Sapphire's not illusion. Glass is illusion. It's like, see, you get it? You see what I'm saying? That's really cool. That's really cool. All right. That's awesome. I hope that would be amethyst would be Psychonics. Oh yeah, that's super awesome. Okay, back to the questions. Pyrotechnic question. I know that us as DMs and players know the difference between Warlock, Sorcerer, Wizard, even though they are arcane casters. How do your NPCs differentiate the difference? Do they even notice? Yes, for sure. I heavily branch off magic into the different checks, even like nature checks, druid, earth type magic, like the earth mother, animals, plants, all that kind of stuff. That's nature check type of things that come from nature itself. Arcana is going to be the actual tradition of magic as far as, wizards and sorcerers. I would dare say sorcerers fall under arcane as well. Maybe a sorcerer wouldn't perform an arcana check because I would say that's more of a constitution check based on or a charisma check based on your, you know what I'm saying? Of like yourself doing it, right? That's a whole long story there about sorcerers being constitution based casters, and I love that whole thing. And there's anyway. And for a side note, I have a wild magic surge barbarian using my homebrew version that I released in the video. A player at my homebrew table right now in the campaign is a wild magic surge barbarian. Anytime he does something cool with his wild magic surges and tries to push the limits of his wild magic surge, he makes constitution checks without proficiency because he's not proficient at it. But once he successfully does it across one thing, he now becomes proficient at that thing. He's so close, he doesn't know it yet, but he's so close to being proficient with lightning type stuff. So there's that. But because he keeps getting the roll, like the random wild surges keep leaning in towards magic or towards lightning. And he's starting to get a little bit more control over lightning and maybe even water anyway. So yeah, Warlocks is going to be possibly religion if it's having to do with any sort of demonic or evil entity type stuff. And then clerics is obviously religion and stuff. So yes, I definitely heavily, my NPCs and therefore the world or whatever, definitely treat magic differently. And I even did this one time where they're in different schools essentially. In the current campaign I have right now, there's 3 different colors of magic: green magic, blue magic, and like white magic, which is essentially also black magic because it's like the absence of so those schools, there were white mages that were blocking the green school of magic from my druid at the table, and they were doing multiple different things to stop and block green magic stuff, which is his whole shtick, right? But specifically within green magic, they were blocking plants, like any sort of vine manipulation, plant manipulation stuff, which is his like go-to. And as a player, that's his go-to as a player. So me as a dungeon master, I wanted to kind of shake him and like kind of push him outside his comfort zone a little bit. So locked off nature, and he had to start doing wind type stuff and water type stuff. Because I blocked off the school of nature from him. So there's that. Anyway, next question. Troy Bowers, and then we got 15 minutes left. Here we go. Troy Bowers question. I need a finesse weapon idea for a Dwarven Rogue investigation subclass, and I want it to be a hammer. Thoughts. Investigator subclass. You want it to be a hammer? A hammer. I'm picturing the hammer. I'm picturing it like being able to move and stuff, so it can like condense. You know what? I'd have it be like a a spool. What if it's like a spool type thing? It's like this big, right? It's like this big, and then there's a button you can press on it, and then the handle comes out, and now you can hold it and stuff. I just feel like that's like the investigator James Bond type spy gadget stuff that made me think of that. But finesse weapon, yeah. I mean, shoot. Just make it a finesse weapon. You can have it be, make it ergonomic in his hand or how it fits and stuff. If you want to be a hammer, like it's already going to be weird as far as like a hammer being finesse, but like I wouldn't worry too much about like it's a hammer. So then I would just make it a finesse weapon, because if you want it to be a hammer, you could have one side of it. You could even have it be like one side of the hammer is blunt and the other side's curved. And then like whenever the handle retracts in, it looks like something else, like maybe a part of his shoe or a part of his armor, like a necklace he wears that looks like a big claw, but it's actually a hammer and you can pull it off and then press the hammer and grab it or something. I don't know. That's freaking cool. It's freaking cool. Ball hammer comes to mind. Oh, that's cool. What if it's like a nunchuck type hammer, What about that? That'd be pretty cool. Battle yo-yo hammer. Yes. That's funny. And then what else? Maybe some sort of hammer that has a head that can open into different tools. Yeah, Ryan Vox is thinking the same line as far as hammers, judge's gavel. Honestly, KJ Duel, I had my first thought went to a freaking judge gavel hammer. And then meteor hammer, yeah. So if you're not familiar, a meteor hammer is the thing that's on a string. It's like that like weighted ball hammer, and it's on a string, and you like swing it around yourself and gain momentum, and then you like sling it out at somebody. It's freaking awesome. That's definitely going to be some finesse right there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's all. And maybe that's the thing, is he just has this weighted object and there's a string, and you press a button and then a string comes out of it like a freaking yo-yo, and then you go to battle yo-yo hammer, like Parks is saying. Yeah, love it. Finesse weapon, Dwarven Rogue, got it. Next question. Do you listen to any D&D podcasts? I don't. I used to listen to Not Another D&D podcast, but then I got like 3 or 4 episodes in. It was pretty cool, and then I stopped listening to it. I just ran out of time, and I wasn't. I think it was me and my wife were on a trip. We drive up to Michigan. Her family lives in Michigan, so we were driving to Michigan, and to keep me awake, I would play a D&D podcast and listen to it because I was caught up on Critical Role, and I was like, what else do I do now? So there we go. But now here we go. We are in overtime. It is 9:20. We got 10 minutes of the stream left. And I'm going to go into overtime. I'm going to fire through some questions here. My goal is to get better at this. My goal is to get better. I'm also going to shift into rant mode, right? I'm going to shift into rant mode, and I'm going to fire through these questions, okay, in overtime. And I'm going to read the question, give my best answer to it, and we'll go from there. And I apologize in advance for the time because I give myself a 5-minute shot clock. I'm going to do the best I can with it. But I would rather answer more questions than just leave other people hanging. And I think it's a fun little challenge to do at the end. So here we go. All right. So Troy Bowers, that was the finesse question. Okay, here we go. Do you listen to any... I went into the I've stopped the 5-minute shot clock. I went into the 5-minute shot clock, go. And the first question was, do you listen to any D&D podcast? But I just answered that question. So that's really funny because I was so energetic for that. And now Sneaky Steve is jumping back in there. He's having to jump on all the spam bots. He marks the questions that I answer. He hadn't marked that I'd answer the question yet. So I thought that was funny. Okay, anyway, now we're going into it. Okay. Do you have any homebrew on vehicles and ships and air combat air movement? Ooh, nice. That is something I do want to publish and give out. It's something I've ran before, but it was before I really did the YouTube stuff, homebrew resources heavily. It was something I just, they were doing some sort of piratey thing, so I made a thing for it, and it was very simple and basic. I didn't make it into a whole intricate system, because usually when you do things like this, it shouldn't be a big intricate system, because you're going to only use it for a session, and then you're not going to use it again probably ever, if not maybe 1 or 2 more times the entire campaign. So I'd have it be super simple, give them each a role, that they could do as an action and weave it into the combat and have another ship coming in, and it's almost run it like a big huge boss that other NPCs are writing, if that makes sense. But again, we're in super chat, so here we go. Sydney Smith, what do you think of an elemental gunpowder item / magic if it doesn't already exist? Like instead of fire damage, you could use ice powder to deal cold damage. Oh, elemental gunpowder. Yes. If you use guns in your game, I for sure use some sort of flavor to it like this. In general, when I use guns, I have them be more so powered by magic than actual gunpowder. But if you are using gunpowder, you could totally use magic gunpowder and come up with some crazy stuff. I absolutely love that. It sounds like, Sydney, it sounds like you're already a next level dungeon master because you just threw out cold damage. And that's as simple as it has to be. It doesn't have to be correct. Poison. Maybe it's a poison gunpowder and you shoot and it hits them and there's like a poison dust cloud. But the poison dust cloud also fires on impact, so you have to wear some sort of mask when you fire the poison cloud bullets because it also has the explosion of cold or of not cold, poison around you. All right, I'm going too long on it. Sorry. Charlie the Tailor. Any ideas on resolving or helping? Wait. Yeah, Charlie the Tailor. Question. Any ideas revolving around helping the Thieves Guild rescue a valued NPC that was kidnapped by a powerful vampire? Wow, so specific. Thieves Guild rescued NPC kidnapped. I'm in overtime, so I'm trying to do this here. Thief kidnapped by a powerful vampire. BBEG. Helping a Thieves Guild rescue a valued NPC. Okay, yeah. That'd be really cool. Is to use the Thieves Guild to break into a vampire's castle. That's crazy. Have the Thieves Guild help y'all plan breaking and entering into a vampire castle. How long can you go through the vampire's castle without him knowing you're there? Maybe the Thieves Guild has some sort of magic stuff that they have access to let that be even possible in the first place. And that's now interesting clues behind the scenes as to how they were able to pull off all these thieving type stuff that they were doing beforehand. Who knows? All right. Next question. Will there be more backer exclusive live streams? Josh Sellers for the Kickstarter. The big thing I did for that is I wanted to do a halfway through big Alcanner's Almanac question and answer live stream for the backers. But that was the big thing that I plan to do for that. So as far as backer exclusive live streams, I don't plan on any other backer exclusive live streams because I did the big one that I wanted to do for the purpose of sharing information and some behind the scenes and answering questions that anyone had. Because I have a backer only Discord, and on that Discord I was like, what questions do people have? And I did a live stream answering those and anyone else who was in the live stream. So in the future, if that was, and it went well, the backer live stream, it was fun, it was cool, and if that's an interesting thing, I'm going to take a poll also of the backers, and if that was a cool thing that was enjoyable, I'll probably do it more next time. So for the next Kickstarter, I'll do one at the beginning and then one in the middle. I'll do 2 of them or something like that. But also in general for future live stream or future Kickstarters, I'm not going to have as big of a turnaround. It's not going to be a year-long turnaround. I'm going to try and have it be like a 6-month turnaround. So I launch it. Here we go. We got it. Cool. Print it, and it's going to be a much more efficient process because the first time it was my first time. So question, how do you feel about the Vecna stuff coming out lately from Project Canceled? Yeah, it's cool that they're just releasing stuff on D&D Beyond for free, and it's like integrating into their D&D Beyond. It's just a free thing you can go claim. More online content published out for it. I have not personally looked through Vecna in depth, but there's some pretty interesting stuff as far as legendary actions and reaction type of things going on there, as far as some interesting thoughts of what Wizards of the Coast is doing there. And then Mr. Goats. Sorry, I missed it. Josh Zellers, question, do you have a playlist for your campaign? If so, would you put them on Spotify? I have on my massive to-do list over here a list of things I need to do now that I'm full-time and I can actually start to go through these things. I'm not just surviving. And a podcast is one of them. And once I set that up, I will have those on Spotify. But Josh Sellers, to answer your question, Dungeon Coach Plays YouTube channel, I have a list of 25 videos of all 25 sessions. One of them just got posted today, my 25th session, of my Dungeon Master documentation of the whole thing and the breakdown of what's going on each session, behind the scenes that the players aren't allowed to watch. And then last one is Mr. Goats. Question, do you have any advice or tips on how to get about prepping a Sandbox campaign? Oh my gosh. Wow. This one This one is I would be careful with it. Honestly, I am there's a hot take video I have coming. It's not really a hot take, I guess. I'll say this, and this is what oh no, a music playlist. Oh, Josh, I see what you're saying. I've watched all your videos. I appreciate that, Josh. I see your comments a lot, so I know what you're talking about. A music playlist. I'm gonna work on that. You know what? I'm putting that down right now, Josh. I've wanted to do that. I've wanted to do that is music campaign music on DC Plays channel. I got you, Josh. Okay. But Mr. Goats. So my campaign, my first campaign I ever did, I had a story, and then I had the players have choices. And then once they chose their railroad, if that makes sense. And I know railroad's a bad connotation or whatever, but they very much felt like a sandbox. And if they're on the rail that they chose from the 3 that I presented to them within the big world that they had, you could do like, what are y'all doing? His way, that way. And then once they chose that way, bang, you're on rails, and this is the experience that you've chosen, right? And then if they do something crazy that like derails that, I'm gonna go with it, of course, for sure. But that's kind of how I ran it. And then my next campaign I made the backstories around my players. I have a whole video about backstories. I think I have 3 different videos about backstories and creating campaigns around backstories. But I did that. And my God, has it been crazy, and I don't know if I'll ever do it again. It's honestly, I am not as big of a fan of how I am doing it this time compared to the first time that I did it, but it was my first time last time, and it was a 3-year-long campaign, you know? So now I'm in this one, in this whole sandbox thing. It's like the players are like, where are we? You know what I'm saying? They get a little lost and stuff. So if you don't have that little bit of guidance from the dungeon master and have at least some bumpers on those rails, you know what I'm saying? So I would say, as far as prepping goes, is wherever they're currently going, put that on rails. And I'm going to have to make a video where I clarify what I mean by that, because that does sound bad. And I love creative freedom. I always let my players do whatever they want. And if they ever are like, oh, we're going down here, and they want to curveball, that happened to me multiple times in this campaign. Totally. But my advice would be to, once they've going a certain direction, plan it out in that direction and build things that lead them along that way. And then once they get to the next logical point where there's a conclusion, then let it open back up and see where they're going to go. And then once they choose, put it back in. So it's almost like here we go. This is my analogy. So here's your rails, right? So it's a sandbox, and you're like, all right, sandbox, where you want to go? Okay, you want to go this way? All right. And then you establish the rails, because they're going to go to this place they're going to go to. Okay. And they're going to experience a bunch of stuff along the way. All right, cool. You're there now. All right. Where y'all going to go? Are you going to, oh, now here we go. All right. So bang, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if that helps at all, but there we go. And I guess I did a terrible job of the whole shot clock thing, but we're way past time now. So a linear campaign with multiple paths. Interesting way to describe that. And I think I'm going to try and come up with a good analogy like that, where, yeah, that's a pretty good analogy there, Steve. But there we go. Boom. 9:30 on the dot. Perfect timing. And that's what we're going to do this time. This time was a Dungeon Coach Q&A D&D live stream. Next time we're going to do a campaign prep, which is kind of a lot of the stuff you guys are asking questions on is campaign prep. So we'll see how that goes next time. But that is it for the stream. Next time we're campaign prepping. Stay tuned for that. Next Wednesday. There you go. Literally next Wednesday. Out of nowhere. It's not out of nowhere. It's going to feel more consistent now that we're doing all that. So, and I'm going to end it before this goddamn bot is all up in the channel. Thanks for my moderators for dealing with all that. And thank you guys for staying creative. Think outside the box. Stay tuned for all the updates. I got a big video coming this week for the announcement of me going full-time, if you hadn't heard that already, and a whole bunch of thank yous and a whole bunch of sappiness and whatnot. So the video is going to do terrible, but if you're interested in what this has been and what it means to me and what you guys mean to me, then stay tuned for that. So thanks for the stream. Thanks, Seth. Thanks, B Sparky. Thanks, Silver Mage. Thank you, everybody.